at this online session about STIPP. Today we would like to tell you something more about STIPP, what it entails, what it can mean for you. But before we do that, we would shortly like to introduce ourselves. So the first person I want to introduce to you is Olivier Heijnen. He's a business developer responsible for STIPP within Wallonie Entreprendre. Wallonie Entreprendre is the regional development agency of course, the Walloon region. And myself, I'm a business developer at LIOF, and LIOF is the regional development agency of Dutch Limburg. And now I would like to take you to the agenda. So we would firstly like to introduce STIPP to you. What is STIPP? What does it stand for? What is the goal of STIPP? And then we would like to look into the target group and the eligibility. And then Olivier will tell you more about the funding and support that you can get from STIPP. And he will also show you some of the examples and the lessons learned we had from call 1 and 2. And then, of course, the call to action and the open moment for questions. So first of all, what is STIPP? What does it entail? The idea of STIPP is that we want to support SMEs to work cross-border. So I think in this beautiful region, we have a lot of potential, but often the potential is just around the corner, and then just around the corner is in another country. And that, of course, brings some difficulties along. Think about a different language, maybe different culture, different rules and regulation. So we see that this cross-border collaboration is, I would not say still limited, but there's still a lot of improvement potential there. And that is something that STIPP would like to support. And we support that specifically for cross-border innovation. And we do that by promoting these possibilities, similar like STIPP, and of course also STIPP, but also to show the finance possibilities that STIPP can offer to such cross-border innovation collaborations. We do that for the Meuse-Rhine region. So there are 3 countries involved, Germany, Netherlands, and Belgium. We will also touch upon that a bit later. It's not the complete countries that are involved. We have a total available budget of 10 million euro. This is the grants that is meant for the SMEs that are doing cross-border innovation in this region. We have approximately 2 calls a year until the end of 2027. So at this moment, call 3 is open, and that will continue to be open until the beginning of 2026. We will close on March 31st next year. So who can benefit from STIPP? As already said, it's an instrument specifically for SMEs. There's a specific test to see whether you are an SME, but you can see the guidelines here. So as long as you have less than 250 employees and also some constraints on the turnover and balance, you are an SME. Not eligible is SMEs that are an undertaking in difficulty. Also there's a specific rule to when there's an undertaking in difficulty. You also see that written down there. So that's a check that needs to be done to see whether you're eligible for STIPP. Also, large companies and knowledge institutes are not eligible, but they can participate as subcontractors. As mentioned, we focus on a geographical area of the Meuse-Rhine, which means it's a part of the Dutch province of Limburg. It's the province of Limburg in Belgium. It's a part of the province of Liège in Walloon, also the German-speaking community in Walloon, and the border part of North Rhine-Westphalia and Rhineland-Palatinate. In order to be eligible, there needs to be a collaboration of at least 2 SMEs from these 2 member states. But as written here, more is better. We will also come back on that later. Because we want to promote also collaboration where, for example, 3 countries are involved. Also, SMEs that are outside the program area may participate, but they will receive a limited grant. Here you can see an overview very specifically of which regions are involved. So on the first slide, you saw a high-level overview, and this is really detailed. So if you already know a partner you want to collaborate with, you can check here whether they would be eligible, and also whether you would be eligible by looking at the picture on the left or looking into the table on the right-hand side with the NUTS codes. Here you can also see the RDAs involved. So you already see LIOF, that's the organization I work for. You see Wallonie Entreprendre, the organization Olivier works for, but we also collaborate with AGIT and NMWP in Germany, and with POM Limburg and Vlaio in Flanders, in Belgian Limburg. So what kind of projects are eligible? As already mentioned, it needs to be cross-border, it needs to be about innovation, but also market-oriented. So not very early stage innovation, there should already be a site on the market. And probably most important, there should be an economic impact on the region we are supporting. Innovation can be a lot of things. It's not only products. Often with innovation, people think about a very new product. Of course, that can be the case, but it can also be an innovative service or process. As mentioned, it's not the very early stage innovation, but market-oriented. So we focus at TRL 6. It can be that the project is still TRL 4 earliest in the project begin, but we aim that all projects are at least TRL 6 by the end of the project. All projects need to address one or more of the societal challenges. You see them here on the right-hand side. So we look at industrial transition, green transformation, and healthier citizens. And also for Goal 3, know that projects on security, specifically defense, and Einstein telescope are eligible as well. Now we would like to give Olivier the word.
Yes, thank you, Martin. Can you hear me, all of you? Yeah, can hear me well? Perfect. Okay, so let's talk now a bit more about money, the funding, and the support we can give through our regional development agencies within STIPP. Can I just go to the next slide? So the grant level in any case will be of 50% for the projects, meaning that we have a subsidy in the project of 50%, and the SMEs need to bring also their own contribution, 50% of the total amount of the project. And the maximum grant will depend on the composition of the consortium, actually. So here you see a table and a graph trying to explain how it works. The principle is that the minimum criteria, as mentioned by Martin, is that to build a consortium, you need to have 2 SMEs. The minimum level will be a consortium with 2 companies, and there you would have a grant of 75,000 euro per company and a maximum of 150,000 euro per project. So that's the grant part. And if you look at the graph, then you see for 2 regions partnership, bilateral partnerships, you will have a project with a maximum level total budget of 300,000 euros. And if you go to 3, 4, and even 5 partners from different regions, you will be able to increase the level of the grant up to 125,000 euro per company and a maximum of 600,000 euro per project. So if you just need to keep in mind one information is that globally you can get grants from 150,000 euro up to 600,000 euro per project, depending on the number of partners involved in the consortium. Just keep it simple. If you need any information, more details, don't hesitate. But the principle is really to support and to stimulate more multilateral partnerships and bring partners from all different regions together and bring different expertises on the same project. One comment also on the previous slide to mention that the subsidies of STIPP, they are qualified as state aid, but they fall into the EU GBER and Article 20. So just important to notice as well. Maybe next slide. Yeah, besides the money, it's important to mention that STIPP is also a stepping stone for European grants. It's a rather simplified process to apply, so not too many documents are needed. We also have a quite simple cost justification, which is done online twice a year. It's online reporting. And there is a pre-financing possible also up to 30% at the start of the project. And the selection period takes about 12 weeks, which is also quite short. And I'll come to that later, but you will see we have also a quite high success rate in all the applications we get. But I would say a few words about that. In any case, we are a team of business developers within STIPP. The first reflex would be to contact your local contact point, and we can give you all the details. The next slide, I'd like just to say more about the support we can give as a regional development agency. Next one, can I change it myself? Yes. Okay. Yeah, apparently yes. So this is to give you a few words about the process of STIPP application and all the steps where we can help as STIPP partners, STIPP regional agencies. So the first step in any case to apply would be to make a project sketch. A project sketch, we use kind of one-pager sheet where you just have to describe your company shortly, your innovation project, and then what complementary expertise would be needed to build a project and build a consortium. That's the first step. It takes not too much time. You have one pager. When it's filled in, it's about maximum 3-4 pages, depending how detailed you are on the description. But based on that sheet, we can really help you to find a partner at the other side of the border. So it's really matchmaking, and that's a big added value we can bring within STIPP. Means that you can have one innovation ID without knowing the right partner yet, and we are there to identify potential ones in the other countries. So that's the step 2, partner search. Then we can organize meetings together with identified partners and help you in building the consortium and up to the project application, which is done online, as mentioned already before. We have a GEMS e-portal used to download all the documents. And then after application, already mentioned by Martin, the call 3 is open now and will close on end of March. When it closes, then we have an eligibility check, then evaluation by an expert committee and a steering board, and this takes about 12 weeks. I will explain very shortly also the criteria used for the selection of the projects. And once the evaluation is done, you have a green light, or of course no green light depending on the project. But when you have a green light, then you can start your project, and we are also there to help you in the follow-up and the kickoff of your project. Important to mention also that all that support is free of charge. We are really happy to help you and support you in that process. So again, don't hesitate to contact us if we can help, if you have an idea. I mentioned, yes, the quite basic criteria. We have 6 criteria to select the projects. Is the degree of innovativeness, of course, the degree of focus on one of the societal challenges mentioned by Martin at the beginning of the webinar, the degree of cross-border cooperation and the added value of each partners, the potential degree of economic impact, which is an important point. We really want to target projects that really have an economic impact on the region. The quality of the project partnership and the quality of the applications. Then I would like to give you some results from call 1 and call 2 to give you an idea of the number of applications we got and the number of meetings we organized. Then I will give you also three concrete examples of projects that have been supported by STIPP. So in call 1 that was open beginning of this year, well, starting end of last year actually, but that closed 31st of March 25. We got 6 applications, 5 of which were approved. So it means success rate of 83%. I mentioned before a high success rate compared to other European projects. We got 10 SMEs partnering, meaning that we actually got 5 bilateral projects and a total budget of 1.5 million euros, amongst that 50% being ERDF funding. Then call 2 was closed here in beginning of October. We got 12 applications. It's still a little bit early to confirm exactly the figures, but we got a request for 3 million euros funding, meaning total with the 50% contribution from the SMEs, a total project budget of 6 million euros. And we got here more multilateral partnerships because we got finally 36 SMEs partnering in these projects. I see a lot of questions coming. I don't know, Leandra or Martin, if we take them one by one or if we wait for the end, but I consider we will go through the questions at the end. Yeah. And yes, just a summary also of the work done within STIPP in the past year. We got 50 partner searches, so that's the one pager I mentioned before. So 50 projects that have been initiated. We made more than 380 suggestions, meaning that we suggested SMEs from each region, and we organized almost 100 get-to-know meetings. We call that get-to-know meetings. It's connection between these 2 SMEs to see if there is a match or not to go further for a project. So that's a summary of the results from call 1 and 2. More concretely, we took here 3 examples from the project that have been granted in call 1. So the Robberwelt BAT, this is a project bilateral. All of them are bilateral, so 2 companies. It's a project with the objective to develop high-speed robotic welding system, and here we have a combination of a company with expertise in batteries and one company more expert in automation and robotics. So it's a perfect match, and you see you have very complementary expertises from these different regions. It's here Netherlands, Germany, if I'm correct. Then we have STIPP Dolphin, another example, more into the medtech industry with a robotic chair to treat low back pain and for low back pain rehabilitation. And they found a partner in the Netherlands. So it's a company in Liège. They found a partner in the Netherlands with a strong expertise in data management, more sensors also applications, and they both together develop a diagnostic tool for therapists. So again, very complementary expertises. And the third one, InScantLight, they are working on that's plant phenotyping. And also the idea was to make it a bit more modular. So you have a company with that expertise with sensors and phenotyping for plants, and another company that brings expertise in automation and developing something more modular and more cost effective also to use. So that's 3 examples. Again, if you want to know more, you go on the website of STIPP. You will have also that pages, and you can also ask us if you need more information. But just to give you concrete examples of the kind of project we can support within STIPP. And then, yeah, I would just conclude by saying that the call 3 has opened in December 1st, and it's open until March 31st at noon. So it's the right moment to start considering applying or thinking about your project, and of course contact us. And we have again here a budget available of 3 million euros to support project in the call 3. So yes, if you have any idea, if you want more information, need any details, questions, just contact us. You have here all the contact details from all the business developers from the different regions, and yeah, we'll be happy to help you and support you in the process. That's it. So any question? I saw some questions, so we'll be happy to answer.
Correct. Yeah, maybe to start with the first question, I leave it up to you, Martino, Olivier, or maybe Raluca to answer. First question is, may freelancers participate, and what kind of legal entities may participate, and how long must that legal entity have already existed? So I think it's a combination which can be answered in one. Someone?
I think this is a good question for Raluca. Maybe also let me introduce Raluca to you. Raluca is part of the Interact Meuse-Rhine team, which is also part of the complete STIPP consortium.
Hi, hello everyone. Yeah, I do not know the exact case of the person concerned, but let's say if you were a sole proprietorship of your company, in principle, you would be eligible, but it's always best to double check if you meet what the definition of a small and medium enterprise. And for that, it is very important first that you get in touch with your regional development agencies, and that you also access the materials that are on the project website. Mainly, there is this European Commission user guide to the SME definition that is very interesting to read, because if you are an applicant, you should really know your status. And also, I would recommend the FAQ that we have on the project website, because some of the questions that you are asking are very detailed, explained there. But yeah, this is what I can add for now.
Yes, and maybe to add to the third question, how long must that legal entity have already existed? It should be existing. It doesn't matter if it's last month or 10 years. As long as you still be an SME regarding the rules of as the European SMEs. I saw 2 questions related. Can we have the list of interested parties in the STIPP so we can get to know each other and see if there's mutual interest? And one, as a service provider, can you also look for a partner, or do you have to develop your own product? I think we can answer that in one. Maybe Martin?
Yeah. Unfortunately, we don't share the projects that we are currently looking for partners for openly. As you can imagine, it's about innovation, so companies don't want to share it on open media, for example. But what I would advise you at this moment is to really get in contact with your local RDA, because they are also informed about these projects that we currently have at hand. So maybe if you indeed have competencies or capabilities that we are currently looking for and we don't know you yet, then we cannot make that match. But when we know you and when we know what you do, what you can do, it's easier for us to make a good match with you and the projects that are currently building a consortium within STIPP.
Thank you.
But indeed,
oh.
just a remark. It's important to mention that we get these open partner searches, and it can. I mean, just if I can say for my side in Wallonia, we work quite a lot also with all the clusters, competitiveness clusters and partners, and sometimes they are disseminating to some SMEs. If you have any interest, not having your own project yet in mind, but you have some skills to bring, you can also contact us and we can just take your, make a small fish file with your expertises, and we can also position your company as a partner in a project, which is also very interesting.
Yes, and I just saw popping up an extra question on that, but I think Olivier just answered that from Gerno Simmerman. And Stefan Price asked, okay, not sharing the project, but sharing the companies, wouldn't that be possible? I would say the answer stays the same. We can connect you with open partner searches, but just if you talk to your RDA, we can see if there is a match. We will not publish them online. A question about calculation of costs and eligible costs. So I think that would be a question for Raluca. First question is, how do you calculate the cost of the hours? And the second one is, what if there is cost for material equipment involved? This is not included in the fundable part, right?
Yeah, in STIPP, we have standard hourly rates that are defined, and depending on the country you come from and on the gross salary that you have to look at in these intervals, and it can be 35 euros, 66, 76 euros an hour. So basically you have to check with the people working on the project where they would fit in these hourly rate intervals that are already defined. And then when it comes to costs of equipment, depending on the cost options that you choose from, you can always budget those in the project, or you could choose to have them covered as a lump sum. If you're not familiar with the cost options, maybe it's always better to check with the RDA, because it also influences your prior experience with Interreg projects or European projects. We always recommend that it's easier to go for staff costs with a combination of lump sums, so you don't worry about equipment contracts or depreciation or any of those things. You just focus on the hourly rates. But again, please read the document and check with your RDAs what would be the best solution for your specific case.
I see. It's not really a question, but maybe Martine or Olivier can add something to well, at least help the doubt with this person. He says it's quite challenging for an SME to make a significant impact on the economy of a wide region. So based on the criteria of impact on economic potential. To react or change that view?
To be honest, that economic impact is more evaluated by the expert committee than by the RDAs themselves usually. And it's indeed not so easy to evaluate that, but you have to, in your application, you have to show somehow what kind of impact you will get on the region. And yeah, but indeed it can be a bit challenging.
You can think, for example, on if you, with this development, you could increase your business or hire additional people within the region. or from this region, increasing the business, selling products inside or outside the region. So it does not have to be really a significant impact on the right region, but the experts do expect that there will be an economic impact. And of course, it's nice that it's more than, I don't know, selling ice creams on a hot summer day. It needs to be a bit more serious, and for it to be a bit more serious, they also expect you to do some homework, so that you did think of what does the market look like? If I put this product or service on the market, what would people pay for it? Is there really a need for this? But on the other hand, also the cost part, what would it cost for us to produce this product, to deliver this service? And maybe also looking a bit more then into the innovation part, but also the economic perspective. How do other competitors offer this product or service? And what would then the added value of your specific development be?
I hope that answered the question, or at least it was not really a question. He says, thank you. Maybe as we refer to get in contact with your RDA, we can go one slide back so people have the contact details again. And I see one question which we already answered a bit. Is there also a list of project requests that we can respond to or apply for? I think what Olivier also mentioned just before is that if you are not known with the RDAs yet, you can get in touch with us, and we also see what kind of expertise you have, and we can match that with current partner searches we have at the moment or in the future, of course. Another question popped up: can a partner be a hospital or a small therapist? Because they are not really an SME. It's basically answered itself, but maybe Raluca wants to add something.
Yeah, I'm not sure about the small therapists, how they are registered, but a hospital is definitely not eligible within the project. Perhaps you could have a contract with them that they would be submitted as an external expert within the project, but not funded as a project partner. So it's very important that the SME definition is met. So if you are not an SME, then STIPP is not for you when talking about being a project partner.
But if I may add something, if we look at the project that has been granted in Call 1, Dolphin project that has been shown, they are working, so it's 2 SMEs, but they are making some clinical trials in a Maastricht hospital. So it's possible to involve a hospital in the project, but as indeed external costs and not as project partners.
I think we touched upon all the questions in the chat right now, but maybe there are still some questions people would like to ask in the chat or maybe live. Feel free. I don't see any hands nor new questions in the chat.
No. I think, as already mentioned a couple of times, we're very happy to help you. Here you see still the overview of the contacts with the email addresses of the different business developers in the different regions. So if you are in a specific region, then please reach out to the people behind these email addresses, and they are very happy to help you with follow-up questions, more detailed questions, but also, as mentioned, to get to know you, to see whether your capabilities or competences can be matched to projects that we're currently searching partners for. as Raluca suggested, Leandra just also shared the project website. So also here you can find additional information if you want to still search some more yourself, but also here you can find our contact details. So if there are really no additional questions, then I'm very thankful for your time. And I hope to talk to you soon and maybe see some of your projects coming in the project list in the upcoming months. So thank you for your time. And